My name is Ernest E. Johnson Jr. Today is February the 4th, 2025, and it's about 10:13 p.m. And I want to say something that I've been wanting to say for quite some time as it relates to changing times in the public and how one, including myself, may reference the outlook of others as it relates to uh, growing and maturing in life and not being a young person in their early 20s. As life progresses and you begin to learn yourself and you grow in life, you see how others respond to you. And you definitely don't want to be a person that's a self-centered person or a self-righteous person who will not take the advice of others. But at the same time, you don't want to put too much stock in what others think about you. And I know others think that because most people in nowadays, they're worldly and they only consider the opinions of the world to be esteemed in a high regard. Now, for myself, as a Christian and a leader, I don't. And I also look at things that may be considered within the personal view of someone as a norm to not be within the norm as it relates to certain standards within society. Facebook, for example, I think when I got wind of Facebook, it was around 2008 or 9, if I can remember correctly. But as long as something in social media is giving a person the attention that they want or crave, or that it gives that person some value in their life, everything is good. And for me, I've been through all of the phase of what social media can add to my life as it relates to the value or what's normal. Social media is not going to really add a whole lot to you personally unless you esteem the opinions of others in a very high regard. To know yourself and to self-reflect and to feel good about yourself based on the values that you possess that come out of your family, that come out of your belief in life, your faith base, your belief, and what you feel brings something to the table or something that advances your life. But when you begin to grow in life, many that you start your process or your evolution of life with at different intervals will not want to grow with you. And I know it's a lot of cliches out about life and others viewing you in a negative light or not being as particular about me, you, or whoever in the general sense as they were at the previous place. But there's not a lot of people that are happy about those who have career jobs and who understands the true value of a career job and retiring from a career job, especially a black man. When a person knows themselves and they understand the priority of having a career job and staying within the focus and the priority of putting into the career job, not many people will be happy because it makes the individual self-sufficient. That's when you start to learn how others are. And in this day and age, they cannot like you on top of that based on being a decent or a good-looking person. People are beginning to be more superficial. So for me, I learned most of what I needed to learn from Facebook in my 30s or whatever age I was when it was, 30s, 40s. I learned everything I needed to learn then. And I found out that people will be with you when they need something, But when they don't need something, they make sure they express how they don't like you, how they don't need you, or they're busy being themselves. And my response has always been to each one of those persons, just by the way I live my life, each person has the right to live their own individual life the way they want to. I don't have any children, so I don't really have that much of an obligation as it relates to family. I should still respect and honor my mother and my father's deceased, and I do that. We don't always see eye to eye. So beyond that, I don't really have any obligations, even to my brothers. I love my brothers. I lost one brother in 2023, and I really feel God has blessed me to get beyond the serious aspect of my mourning. But to those of you who I've once been friends with, once been close with, and I'm sure you know this, and I'm sure you don't care, I don't look for people to make my world happy. I go to Jesus Christ and I make myself happy within what God gives me peace in, myself. Many people today, as society is changing and hearts are waxing cold, they are so superficial and they look for the praises of men instead of God helping them to know who they are. So I've always wanted to say that I'm not looking for superficial friends. I'm not looking for fake friends. Never have been. I'm a person that I can enjoy just being in a nice apartment by myself and being at peace. That's why I buy quality things. That's why I always have a decent place to live so that I could be at peace. I'm happy with women not wanting me because most of them in California want to tell you you have to pay them to be in a relationship with them. And you have to just buy them all kind of gifts or give them money. And I just don't agree with that. I'm old-fashioned. I'm going to get to know you, and I'm going to listen to you. And if you can't respect me like I respect you, I'm good with you just like you're probably good with me. So I probably will never find anybody based on the type of religious leadership position I hold and the level of insight and knowledge I have. That doesn't make me superior to others or to women, but what it does make me is a disciplined person that is able to, with certainty, clarity, and self-control, see someone else and what's normal and have reasonable expectations of how they're going to approach me just as they should in my presentation to them. So most people are looking to have an advantage based on the achievement and goals that others make instead of self-reflecting within themselves. And those that have come to the place to have the achievements that they have set out to achieve, some of them personally haven't interpersonally worked on themselves to be happy with themselves, happy with their marriage, their partner, or whoever they're with, or in their world and circle. So, and you could tell because they take a negative approach and spin on what they feel others are obligated or responsible to do for them. You know, when things go negative, a person should always self-reflect and then measure themselves by their foundation, where they come from, all of the ethics, work ethics, and the things that sustain them from their own heritage, if they have those qualities and strengths within themselves. If they don't have that quality and strength within themselves, God affords each person in a capitalistic society like this to come into the place where they have opportunities for growth and enhancement and social structures or entities that can help them develop themselves to be a strong person or a stronger person. And if they don't have the things they need, again, it's different entities within society that can give them direction. They can pray and ask God for direction, but no one is responsible for my happiness. No one is responsible to give someone else happiness outside of a committed relationship that they have with an individual that they want to grow in when it comes to a personal relationship. So you're good with me, I'm good with you. And if the world that I lived in and the lifetime that I've been in says that I don't want you personally as a friend, as a confidant, as someone that I can have companionship with, and I have a few friends, but the real friends that I have been ones that are educated on a certain level, and I don't mean everybody's educated that understand me, and that they don't feel obligated to impose upon me just like I don't impose upon them. And all the other friends usually are superficial or for a certain purpose within a certain period of time. And it's okay. I don't run to others in a needy fashion to ask them to do anything for me. And anybody that knows me, they know that. I've never asked people to borrow money. I've never ran and been a needy person to say, please give me, please do, please help me for any reason. And if anybody really knows me, that's what they'll tell you. I've always worked for what I want to achieve. I've worked hard to get to where I'm at, and I decided the type of career that I want to be in. And had I chosen to be in a higher place and given up the religious occupation that I have as a bishop, I could have. But for me, the peace that I receive from being who I am and being able to display and exercise in compassion and giving back to the world in which I live, that gives me peace and happiness and inner satisfaction. God has blessed me with a nice job, a nice retirement. I'll have decent Social Security. So I can't complain in my life. I'm happy. And for those who are not happy for me, God bless you too, because I'm not sitting around crying, asking you, please don't be like that. Please don't feel like that. I just go on with my life. God has blessed me with perfect health and strength. And that's not to brag or boast or in a negative light to compare to anyone that falls short of being a complete bill of health. You know, I work in healthcare, so I feel and care for people on a daily basis that have health concern and health issues. So, with that being said, overall, I'm not boasting to say that I'm healthy and that I've been it's a complete miracle that I've never been sick other than a cold in 54 years. When I look back to my early 20s, 18, 19, 20, my blood pressure and vital signs are the same as I had in my early 20s. So I thank God for that. I thank God that at my age, I'm as strong as I am. I thank God that He's given me the mental capacity through Jesus Christ to think like I do. And it's nobody but God through Jesus Christ because I have a relationship. I put my emphasis and priority on making sure I study and read the Bible and have a relationship with Jesus Christ, and that I reference that relationship also by the way I treat people in my life. And sometimes people just don't like when they can't measure up to where you at. Now, am I saying I'm perfect? No, I'm not. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I don't let others condemn me and to sift through my life or to try to watch my life in such a capacity where they can condemn me or tear me down based upon their view. Because I look at others' view with what motivation they have and the reason that they're telling me about me, or they view what they say they view in their opinion and estimation. Why? Because a lot of people nowadays want to look at you and just tell you you're not who you are because others profess you're that, and they rightfully so can say, I don't believe you're that. There's some people that tell me, I don't believe you're a bishop. But when I explain to them how you can discern and the description of a bishop as it relates to the Bible, then they don't have anything to say. The Bible says if a man desires the office of a bishop, he desires a good work. Now, the first desire is to reach beyond in the Greek. So, if a man desires the office of a bishop, he will reach beyond his peers and his counterparts for God. And the way you seek God is through the authority of his word by studying to show yourself approved, a workman need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. You reach beyond by studying the word of God and seeking God to give me answers for all the things I see in this wayward, cold, waxing cold society and evil hearts in today's society. God has given me answers. And then when you reach beyond, it's not to say that you have the capacity beyond others. It's to reach back out to those that God has given you influence with, or who does receive the message that God gives you. And the proof that you reach beyond and you've heard from God is the message that he gives. The second desire is passion. So the proof is in the passion and the purpose and the message. So that's how you know a bishop, his good work. If a man desires the office of a bishop, he desires a good work. The first desire to reach beyond. Once he reaches beyond other pastors, elders, and when I say reaching beyond, it's in the context of preaching. Reaching beyond other prophets, other elders, reaching beyond evangelists, is in the context of having a message that has been revealed and then reaching back out to is how the bishop part is determined, because once it's determined that the passion is directed in caring for those that God have assigned that message to go to, that person is elevated and received by their own counterparts. The leadership, right there where they're ministering, whatever the message is, or the brotherhood or the sisterhood within the congregations, one or plural, that's how you know, because the message that is received. And I never would have thought that there's some people that just don't want to like me because now I'm a bishop. And that's okay. I go to work every day. There's some that like me. And most people on my job like me, by the way. I have some problems in very subtle ways with some people that come across because of the influence that I have as a person in the position I have in healthcare and as a person in leadership that I carry into healthcare. Some people don't like that I have the persuasion with people. And I understand that. I get that. And I'm okay with that. Not everybody will like me. But it's when it's people in your own family, people that are close to you, they go out of their way to show you they don't like what you have. And I'm okay with that. Then there's some that have to have time to catch up to where you are. And it's not that they have to rise up to the same place, but if you're at a certain place and you're not going back to the place you came from, and just like you respect others, you demand others to respect you, those individuals know they can't just treat you the same way. That's what they know. So I'm not turning back to wherever I put my hand to the plow. I'm moving forward and not looking back. And if others don't want to grow with me, they don't want to praise God with me for where I'm at in life, I don't have to be your bishop. But it's evident by the message that he's given me that I am a bishop. It's evidenced by the church and how I'm received in my position. So if you don't want to receive it, I don't have any problem with it at all. But I'm not going to allow your personal view or perception of me to treat me below the privilege that God has put me on. And I'm a man that's due respect because I give respect. So you be blessed. And I wish all of you the blessings in 2025.